afternoon, is it still morning? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, no, good morning, everyone. Good morning. That's more like it, okay. So my name is Shalek Chappill Nichols, and I am an education consultant, and I'm one of my hats is a CPIN instructor. CPIN stands for California Preschool Instruction Network, and so that's one of my hats that I wear. I travel around and go to different schools and do education and coaching, and I teach at a local college, so I am a very busy bee. So that's me in a nutshell. I just did a quick overview of me because I want to get to the meat and potatoes, and so we can play and have fun. Today, I really want to talk about expressing creativity through math, and we're talking about champions. And one of my champions was not an official teacher. One of my champions was my grandmother, and she taught me fractions through cooking. And that was one of the biggest things that I have, learning that I had dyslexia and all of those things. I go back to what my grandmama taught me when I was in the kitchen. And how that worked for me and how I feel comfortable when I go back to that tangible. And so today, a lot of stuff that I have for you is tangible, and I'm going to get you thinking about the process. So what I want to do first is everybody go like this, go like this, go like this, and go. Because I want your mind to be shaken up. I want you to take a different approach. Not 1, 2, 3, count the dogs. How many cats? But I want you to give children the ability to answer questions while they're at the table. Wow, how many cups of milk did you pour? Right? Making it practical for children. Thus, expressing creativity through math. Because we know that when a child masters something, they can do it in any setting. And that's what we want. We don't want them to just verbally, okay, that's 2, that's 3, but we want them to actually express what they actually know so we can help them. All right, so this is what I want you to do. Are you ready to go on this journey? Yes. Okay, so I would like for you to participate. Are you gonna try to participate? Yes. All right, that's what I like to hear. All right, so the objective is here, really looking at how we can encourage young learners to navigate through this math thing, as well as STEAM, if you will. Also, we had a little bit talking about UDL there. I move around, so you guys work with me. Bounce around a little bit. Looking at UDL, really looking at how do we touch all of our students in the classroom? How do we get to them? What do we need to do? Okay. And also looking at the resources on your table, these are my resources. I would like them back.
Including the CPIN card?
Yes. No, the cards you can take, the CP cards, the CPIN cards you can take, but the books that you have on your table, I would like them back. You can get them online. And if you come and beg, please, I may give you one, but I need to take them back. But these are resources that we'll talk about later. And then how do we use STEAM to enhance or look at the 21st century skill sets? We talked a little bit of the keynote talked about the social emotional piece, which is very important when we're dealing with all education, but math especially. Okay, so how do we do that in our learning? Okay, before we get to this, I have a wonderful song for you all. So I need everyone to stand up. Stand up, stand up. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Look around, make sure you're safe from anything, because I don't want to use my insurance on you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the boss.
Listen. Watch it. Grab it now. Come on, clap.
I'm in charge like Tuesday, and here's how I
it this way. You do it this way.
I boss my arms. High to low, high to low, high to low. I boss my legs.
Uh-oh.
Jump side to side, jump side to side.
I'm not gonna jump.
Jump side to side. I boss my hands. Raise the roof, raise the roof, raise the roof. And then I stretch myself. Big and tall, big and tall, big and tall. I'm the boss of my body. I tell it what to do. I'm in charge like Tuesday. And here's how I move, cause I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
Now chill.
I need my sunglasses. No. Watch
I
it.
boss my tummy. Twist yourself.
Come on.
Twist yourself. Twist yourself. I boss my feet. March in place.
March in place.
March in place. March in place. I boss my fingers.
I like spirit
Touch
fingers.
the ground. Touch the ground.
Touch the
Touch the ground. And then I boss myself. Turn around. Turn around. I'm the boss of my body.
Catch it,
I tell
catch
you
it.
what to do. I'm in charge like Tuesday. And here's how I move, cause I'm the boss.
I can't hear you. Yeah.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss of my body. I tell it what to do. I'm in charge like Tuesday. And here's how I move, cause I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
Yes. Okay. What I want you to do is talk to your neighbors, talk to your groups. First thing came to your mind when you heard that song. Second thing, can you see yourself doing this in class? Third thing, what's going on in that song? Go. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your neighbors. All right. Sorry, I know I shortened that a little bit. Last thought. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, thank you all. So quickly, popcorn style, what did you think about when you heard that song? What popped out? Yes.
Same thing I said here. I thought it was amazing for younger kids to notice that they're in control of their bodies because they do it voluntarily, but to stop and recognize that they're the boss.
Yes. That social emotional piece. Putting my body in check. Yes.
Where do I find that song?
Hold on. We're going to get there. Everybody's like, how I get it? How I get that? That's the first thing. Yes. Say it again. Yes. High five. What else did we see? Did we hear in there?
So all those prepositions about moving through space with your body, up, down, little
High
up.
five. Yes. Part of math, right? The first step of math, because they have to do what first? They have to listen. They have to be in control of their body instead of me saying, stop, don't move. I can say, Johnny, control your body. Remember, you're the boss of your body. Right? Different way. Yes.
And you prefaced it by saying, make sure you have room, because that's another part of just, understanding your body.
Yes.
In space, and you're not going to want to step on somebody else or hit somebody.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I always say that when I do dance. I always say, look at your surroundings. And you do that with children, not just with adults, because what happens when we don't tell them that? What are we doing? We're correcting them instead of just doing the activity. So we give them a space so we don't have to navigate through that. Okay? So that particular CD is called Choosy Nation. Yes, I'm the boss of my body. You can go online and Google her. She has her own company. She has all kinds of different things. They're talking about some toddlers, infant stuff in there. Like I can go to the potty. She has one. What else? Can you see yourself doing this in the class? Very good, very good. And I like it because it's hip. Okay, nobody's taking off clothes, nobody's doing cussing or anything. It's really solely like getting their bodies moving. And you're implanting that self. You're implanting the propositions.
Yeah. Also, it's joyful. I mean, everybody was having a smile. We were breathing.
Having
It was all that,
fun.
like, it lightened everything up, and it felt
Good.
like community space rather than self-space.
Yes, wonderful. So we're going to shift over to this here where it talks about mathematics. You all know this, right? This is our foundation. When we look at it, we look at number sense, we look at algebra, function, and measurement, geometry. I'll get it together. Mathematical reasoning. All of these things are foundation. Everybody say foundation. Foundation. In order for them to function in third grade, they have to get the foundation. This is where we have to understand that, yes, they can say the symbol, they can look at the symbol 1 and say 1, but do they actually know what 1 is? Yeah, they know it when they say, you get 1 cookie, but that means that you know it. So we want to set the foundation up. And so these are the things that we see when we look at the foundations. Understanding the number and quantity. If I understand that concept, it will help me in the long run to do that mathematical reasoning because I see there's a pattern. I see an algebra and functioning. Yes, everybody say yes. Yes. Young children have algebra and functioning.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're looking at patterns. Good? In order for them to get that 2x plus 3x, whatever, they need to understand how to navigate through that. That's that foundation.
They're just solving for the unknown, like how much is mine?
Yeah, but if I don't know it, I can't get there. So if I had that foundation to understand and I have that opportunity, I can do it. All right. So on your table, I should have one more coming out, but I'll get that for you. You have you should have 2 books, but it's one that says the Preschool Foundations and Frameworks. I'll get the other one out for you, as well as the Integrated Nature of Learning. And in these books, you will find what we call, this one here is what teachers do. So this gives you little tidbits about how do I set up my classroom as far as my math area, as far as my science area. And so we have 3 volumes of this, and this is produced by the California Department of Education. We have the white book is where children are supposed to be. So if I have a 3-year-old and I'm teaching them 2 minus 7, it's gonna tell you that that's not appropriate right now, developmentally. Unless they're ready, but developmentally, what happens is that white book will tell you where they should go and where they should be. Because we want to set them up to do what? What do we want to do? To succeed. So if we're struggling trying to get them to push to do something that they're not developmentally appropriate supposed to do right there at that moment in time, then it's going to be hard for us and hard for that child. So this is a resource for you. We also have that other one, which is relatively new to CDE, and it's talks about how to integrate the STEAM and the STEM. So we'll look at these books as we go on. I have another one. Can you hold that up for me, Patricia? Which talks about family engagement, culture, family partnerships. And so that's also, all of these resources are free online. So you can go online, look it up, and you can grab that. And so we're going to take little nuggets from here and just see how we can apply that. Okay? So somebody read the middle. It says 8 what? Yes. So when we look at the 8 overarching learning, or how children learn, we have 8 overarching principles. And so look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but it says relationships are central. Play is a primary context for learning. I'm gonna say it one more time. Play is what?
Primary context.
Say it loud.
It's the primary context for learning,
Why?
because that's how we learn.
When I go into a Coach store, I'm not sitting there thinking about how much it costs. I'm thinking about, yes, I get to play. That's what children want. When you put something out on the table, what happens? Prime example, you see an infant. You put something in front of an infant. What do?
Put it in their mouth.
They put it in their mouth. They touch it. They smell it. What are they doing? They're playing. They're exploring. So we have to understand that children need time to what? Play. So they can gain the understanding. Okay? The other one, learning is what? Yes. Everything we do is integrated. Math, science, engineering, all of that comes together. Prime example, I'm the boss of my body. How many things did we do? We did some science, because we did some physical, right? Physical education there. Looking at our heartbeat. I could have took it to that level, right? Looking at that math, technology, kind of moving stuff out of the way so we can have that space, engineering, moving stuff. All of those things come together, okay? The other thing is intentional. My favorite word, any class you take from me. Everybody say intentional. Everything you do should have a meaning behind it. It should have a purpose. I used to always, when I was working in the classroom, and I was administrator, I would go into the classroom and I would see the kids doing something. And I would ask the teacher, tell me a little bit about that project. I don't know. What you mean you don't know? You have to understand that there's a purpose for everything. If you don't have a purpose, it's a waste of time for you and the student. And you make it more work for you. So everything has to be intentional, okay? Family and community partnerships. This is very, very important. Why is family and culture? Yes, partnership, family and community. I'll get it together here. Why is that important? Y'all come on. Why is it important?
They're the most important teachers.
Say it again.
They're the most important teachers.
Say it again.
They're the most important teachers.
They are the first teachers, right? Doesn't matter how they teach. Sometimes it can be unorthodox, right? But they have something that we need. And guess what? This journey is for us together because our last goal, our ultimate goal is to make sure that child is successful, okay? Individualizing of learning includes what children? Some children? Only children with black hair? All children. Oh, Johnny ain't gonna listen. Put him on the side. I'm messing with Johnny today. I don't know who Johnny is, but put him on the side. He don't listen. That's not all children, including all children. Even Johnny that you think is not listening. Okay? Responsiveness to culture and language support children's learning. So looking at their language, and I always say in early education, children are learning language, period. Doesn't matter if Spanish, Chinese, whatever their second language is, everybody's learning language all together. And so we have to take that into account. In time to reflect. Everybody say reflect.
Reflect.
Say it again.
Reflect.
Reflection is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. After this, I'm going to look at the video and say, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Or what did I do right? Reflection. Okay. So what I want you to do, I have here for you some handouts, and I'm going to have somebody help me here. Some handouts, and what I want you to do is look at those overarching principles and kind of explore those. Look at how you can incorporate STEAM. Okay, how can you put that in there? Okay, so I have this here. We're gonna pass it out. Yeah. And if you have a book, it's actually on page. If you have the integrated of learning, It's actually on, oh, actually, no. Yeah, it is. That's one. That's just one set. This is the whole set. It's coming around. But look, I'm going to go back to it, and I want you to actually look at some of this so you can discuss what you see in there. That's actually a set. Yes, a set. So go ahead and look at this. Talk to your partners right now to kind of look at, or your group, and kind of look at the overarching principles and see how that ties into that STEM education. If you don't have the paper, you can look at the integrating. Yes, that one, the purple one, and it's on page 13, I believe. Correct? Yes. Page 13. Okay, that's fine. Take it and look at the book. It's over there in the book. That one. Yes, perfect. Oh, just look at them. Look at the 8 principles there and kind of see what ties into STEM, right? All right. So I'm going to slow down a little bit because I think I'm going a little fast because I just want to get to those activities, but I have to set it up. So we have here this, the 8 overarching principles, and then thinking about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. How does that all combine together? What do you see in there? Where do you see the principles play when you look at STEM or STEAM? What did you discuss in your?
Well, I think it's about being integrated and that being intentional.
Oh, say that again, because that was good.
Having things be integrated and having your teaching be intentional.
Very good.
It makes me think of the environment that you set up for the children, what the actual classroom is like. Because if you have, a classroom that's, rich with all kinds of things that our children just want to go touch and play and learn, enough things that a classroom of 24 small children, it will incorporate in relationships, play, integrated learning, all the way down. So I feel environment is crucial.
Very good, okay, very good. And so we see that all of these, when we look at STEM, we look at the science, that part. I'll see how much time I have. I don't have a little time. But we see that it's integrating, it's coming together, it's making it seamless. And so I want to shift over to how can we make that seamless and not say, okay, you're doing science, you're doing this, but it's seamless. And then it's practical. Because when a student goes to the store and buys something, it needs to be seamless so they can understand how to purchase something. Right? Prime example, my husband took 2 little boys, we were at church or something, and he took 2 of the little boys to the store. And the little boy said, I wanted something like a soda or something. So my husband gave him the money. And he looked at him. And this little guy was 8 years old. He looked at him and he said, what's wrong? He says, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to purchase. He said, you don't know how to purchase a soda? And then there was another little boy with him. He said, I'll help him. And it blew my husband's mind that this little kid, 8 years old, didn't know how to purchase a soda. Seamless to us, but yet so fundamental, right? To just go up and put it on the table, exchange, and that's it. But he didn't know how to do that. And so what we want to do is make sure that foundation is there so they can engage in that experience, okay? So I'm going to, we're going to get back to this wild experience, but I want to, here it is. This is it. I want to go into science, technology, engineering, art, and math real quick. When we look at these concepts, we see that we're looking at science, we're looking at the process and the investigation. Everybody say process. Process. Investigation. Investigation. Just like that infant, what does that infant do? They touch it, they put it in their mouth. That's investigation. Watch them, it's process because they're processing what that is. Okay, is this bitter? What is this? Is sweet? What is it, right? The second part, technology. What is technology? Say it again, somebody say it louder. the products and systems that meet human needs. It's not just the computer, it's not just the cell phones. It's anything that makes our life easier. So, I always use this example as a toothbrush. Old school, use a cloth, wipe, But now we got a toothbrush. So it makes it what? Easier. So that's technology. Okay? So that's where you want to see. Engineering, creating, design, and using the material properties to its capacity. So when I look at a cup, I don't just see a cup. I see wheels for a car. Using that product beyond. Okay? Art. Using creativity to gain and clear understanding of the product. So when I see there's 2D art, which is what? On paper, right? The colors and all that. And it's, okay. But how about looking at a bus? What is the art in the bus? The wheels, the way the wheels are structured. That's art because it has to be structured in the right way so the bus can go. So looking at art in a different perspective, not just that 2D, okay? And not just that 3D, but looking beyond, okay? Math. Let's everybody say it. Understanding and exploring different. I don't think everybody said it. Let's say it again. Go.
Understanding and exploring different attributes which relates to quantity.
Guess what? They got to explore. So I'm going to pass on some of this so you can explore. Okay? So what we're going to do is each group has 2 cards. You have a blue card, let's pretend there's a card. You have a blue card and you have a purple on your table. I asked some of you to combine together because you have, you only have like 2 or 3. So if you combine to the next group, it's good. So what I want you to do is take a brief second, and my time is almost up too. Take a brief second to look at 2 things. The blue one says inspired by whatever it is. And then I want you to create or design whatever is on the blue. So for example, I'm not going to give you guys this because you're going to get it. I'll say design a chair. That's inspired by a rainbow. So what I want you to do as a team, come up with a product using those 2 things. Draw it out, look at it, put a price on it and all that. Got it? Go. Real quick. Okay, so I need fancy, one brave, well maybe, let's do one brave soul one brave group who would like to share. Who would like to share? Come on, quickly. All right, I'll volunteer. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so.
Wait, hold on, let me see if I can.
Ours was design a boat inspired by a pirate. So we first discussed what a pirate would want. And then we also had someone on our team. So we did a drawing and we did a 3-dimensional boat.
How much is it?
How much you got?
$5.99. I want 3 units of that. If we had time, we would go around. This is how you integrate all of that learning in there, getting the math in, getting the science, getting that engineering and all of that. This is what I call designer's expiration. So what happens is the children create something and they put a price on there. This is good, and people say, oh, they're too young. No, because they do it all the time. Look at dramatic play. Right? They can do it. So what you want to do is kind of give them this and start adding in that science part. Okay? Now, I only have like 10 minutes or so. So I know I'm so quick. I know, right? When you're having fun. I have stuff on your table. a bag. So what I want you to do is just look through that process, look through that, and then I'm going to give you like 3 minutes to kind of navigate through the stuff that's in that bag. And then once you finish, what I'm going to do is show you some of the stuff that I have up here that we didn't get to. Okay? And go, play, have fun. All right. Did everyone have fun? Little bit? Somewhat? All right. Did you have fun?
Oh, of course.
I love it, right? Okay. So time is racing. Time is racing. So quickly, I want each group to just hold up what you have. Hold on, my friends. Okay. Hold up what you have. Over here, we have a couple of things that are the same, but yet they have stuff that's added on. So some of you may have ice skating mouse, and some of you may have a string with that. Okay, let me hold it up so you see that. And then some of you may have one that has a measuring tool. Well, actually, all of them have some type of measuring tool. Over here, we have a ruler. Over here, we have string. Over here, where is it for this one? That's it. And then we have some blocks. So those are all measuring tools and ways that you can incorporate math into that learning, okay? Also, let's see to the next one. Over here, we have the house design. Once again, looking at different measuring tools that you can use or children can use to measure in different places in different ways, okay? And I am like Texas. I'm from Texas, so I like it. I like to go big. And so when I seen these big old blocks, I was just like, yay! Hold up the big old blocks over here. Look at those things. Those things are huge. Let me see.
And they're really sturdy.
They're really sturdy. Looking at that UDL, right? Children that may have difficulties picking up small things, using these. Difficulties with children putting things in their mouth. They can put it in their mouth, but it ain't going nowhere. Well, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Wait, let me go back, because I don't know. Do some silly. Okay. Another thing that I had was buttons. Yes. And it's not the small buttons are really good, but I have here big buttons, and I have different activities with the big buttons. So we have over here designing a pizza, and I think they're designing a whole lot of stuff over here. Have a pizza designing over here. I just took some shirts that I no longer use and just have them design a pattern on there. There you go. And I'm all about using the floor. So have them do this on the floor. You know the guys and girls that need their body to be moving? Yeah. Instead of saying, don't move, you say, let's go get this, because it's big. So you put it on the floor, they got the big buttons, and you have them do the design. The small one is over here, paper-wise. So what I did was I extended that and made it into practical. And you can do designs with it. You can do all of those things. Okay? Perfect.
Great.
So, last thing, and I need everybody to participate. I have to get all of this stuff out. So what I would like to do is have you guys to pick up one thing. You can keep the cards if you have it. If it's anything additional, bring it up to me. When you bring it up, I will show you one of my other activities that I usually do, which is the line. And then I have a recyclable one that I usually do. And I also do what I call a egg drop. I can show you my eggs. And what I usually do with that is a design challenge and have the students create navigate a device for the egg to go down. So I'll show you all of that. Because of the sake of time, We didn't get to explore that, but I wanted you to see all of the things that I brought. So you can pick that up, bring that stuff in front, and you can see all of that. Is there any questions? We didn't go into family partnership, but all of these things that I've done for you, guess what? Can go home. So they can explore that with families. Okay? Thank you. I wish I had more time.